And action!
You disgust me. Grow up.
How you doing, folks? Episode 17 of What's the Script? Thanks for coming back to us again this week. Christopher, how are you?
Cool as fuck.
I was expecting an answer in a pure Elvis voice here, but
No, because that's racist, mate.
if you're listening on the pod forums, where Christopher's got a lovely pair of Elvis specs, Vegas ones, you know the ones. Everybody's got a pair. I've got them somewhere in a drawer. You know what I mean, I could only lay my hands on my blue tinted Tony Starks this morning. Doesn't it compute? Know what I mean?
I've took them after because you've got a tint with them on there. It's like you've got the jaundice.
You came in any colour of tint you wanted, so they did.
Nice.
A nice blue tint and all that. They look a job. Don't make me any richer, but
Didn't do it for Elvis either.
well, let's get on to it. So
this will contain spoilers.
Aye, spoiler alert. Check the specs. As we said last week, after doing Thor: Love and Thunder, we were going to do another new release box office extravaganza cinematic fucking Yahoo, and it was Elvis, the movie, starring Tom Hanks and Austin Butler primarily. I seen it like 4 weeks ago in Blackpool. My daughter's seen it 5 times. My missus seen it twice, and there's a lot of good reports as well for other people that have seen it 2 and 3 times. But Chris, you seen it yesterday, didn't you, mate?
Aye, I did indeed. And I've given it some thought, right? I do like it, right? But I was expecting like a proper biopic. You know what I mean? Like I said to you, like I would have liked to have seen like how some of the songs were created and all this. Like maybe him travelling about for, but it was like a highlight reel, wasn't it? And
it was a movie. It was a movie. Do you know, see the way you're discussing? I would like to see that as well. See the way Peter Jackson done Get Back.
Aye.
The Beatles on Disney, that was fantastic. See if somebody was to unearth some sort of fucking footage like that and give us kind of 9 hours of behind the scenes, and that would be fantastic.
Aye. It's just like, see the whole. It's like you're kind of like Bohemian Rhapsody and all that. Like you kind of seen the makings of. No. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Let's see Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's good coke, that. It's good ginger.
The working lady to the sailor. Hello. Yeah.
But it's see stuff like that and like Walk the Line. You kind of seen.
Aye.
There was like a song. It was like a mainstay like through the. With this, you didn't really kind of get it, sort of thing. You know what I mean? But as you pointed out, it was like kind of through the Colonel's side of the story. You know what I mean? What he seen, because you wouldn't see all that part because he wasn't there. But,
do you know? So you don't think there was one song that was a mainstay through this at all?
Not that I remember.
I just kept hearing his first hit all the way through it. He kept going back to it, even in the later things. He was rejigging it and going back to it and back to it, and then he was regressing his memories. He was going back to it all the time. Walk the Line, it was Jackson, wasn't it?
Aye, kind of.
Aye. But I totally understand what you're saying, mate, and you've got a valid point there. I could go like a bio of that behind the scenes and probably see something for the first time that nobody's seen. You know what I mean? Elvis kind of himself and off guard. But as a movie, see, I know I've built this up to you for like 3.5 weeks because I was taken aback by it. I really was. I think I was going to see a biopic, a half-assed biopic. I didn't have a lot of expectation for it at all. And then it just opened up with the Colonel talking. Tom Hanks, as we know, played a brilliant part as well. And then it was all through his eyes kind of hanging about how he's seen himself as the guy that discovered him.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And then as we went through the 50s and the 60s, the 70s, the kind of cinematography mirrored the era. I mean, they did the big flashbang bits and all that kind of stuff.
Aye, all that.
So I was just taken aback, but it kind of flew in for me. It felt like I sat there for half an hour and I came out there wanting to watch fucking Elvis on YouTube and all that.
Aye. Oh, well, I did do that anyway, but it was just at the ending bit because it's fuck. See, I came back and I says that if people, I was like, it's good. It finishes strong, but it's heartbreaking as fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
See, what it kind of leads you to believe is, I think Elvis kind of killed himself slowly, sort of thing, because his spirit was fucking like already dead, so to speak. You know what I mean?
By the way, folks, spoiler. That's a spoiler. But really, we're going to be divulging stuff that you can see in the annals of history anyway. It's nothing going to be too spoilery. We'll get to the acting and the storytelling in the part. But like you said there, mate, it's fucking. I think that got me maced that last half hour, 40 minutes. Just fucking kind of. I was welling up and all that. You know what I mean? I'm no fucking kidding about it.
It's that scene, see where like he's kind of accepted his fate.
Aye.
And he shouts he's dying, and then he's just shot all the blinds, and he tells her, send up Dr. Nick, and then it's just him, himself, in darkness. Like stuff like that. That was good. But see, like I says to you, see that maybe the first, I don't know, maybe say the first 40 minutes. I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? It's like, it was like the Colonel, right? The Colonel story. And then, there was Elvis. And then it was a bit of Elvis. And then it was, and you're like, right? So show the meteoric rise of Elvis then. And then it was just.
Fast tracked, wasn't
it? Fucking flash. And you're going, all right. Know what I mean?
I never realised that till you said it yesterday and I thought about it a bit. And you're right, it kind of... Long as the film run for?
2 hours, 40 minutes.
2:40. I would say, so probably the first 40, 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes is getting you up to late 60s, early 70s, isn't it? Up to where the story's getting told. So I know what you mean. It's as if, look, everybody knows fucking 1954 to 1966, so let's just get that out the road. The Colonel gets a wee bit to say, it was me fun, it was me go up there, like me go up in places and stuff. And then the story kind of really, really starts. And it's fucking, it's hard not to gravitate towards the end of it because that's obviously the best bit and the hard hitting bit. But there's some, it was clever. I like the way you've seen it through this warped old man's fucking eyes as if he would have been nothing without me.
Aye. See, that's the kind of aspect. And see, in saying that as well, see, obviously, after going to see it and stuff, like started fucking doing like a deep dive into stuff.
Aye.
And some of the main points that you thought this guy was an absolute bastard aren't true.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean? Like, what was that? Fucking that bit where the Colonel's trying to get him to change his image and stuff. Know how for doing like the Elvis the pelvis fucking thing they said. That wasn't true. Apparently the Colonel was all for it because it sold it. That's what everybody was coming to see. Know what I mean? And then as far as like threats for the government, you need to do this. Or what? Apparently that was a lot of shit as well.
Aye. But I've read would you call her Priscilla's autobiography as well on him. Well, I've not read it, I've read extracts for it. And she said as well, there was guaranteed block gigs, right? For talking sake, you can do St. Louis or the state of Missouri, you can do 20 gigs guaranteed, but we'll only sign it as long as he fucking stays still. And that was what was making the Colonel think 20 gigs, guaranteed, money in the bank, Elvis, don't move. And then Elvis was getting pissed off with that. So it was always a money thing, but you're right, it's not like movies everywhere, there's nothing 100% ironclad. He was convicted, we should say, he was convicted in a court of law after the fact, after Elvis died, after he died, is to have like done him out of millions. So we can't really fucking argue that point. But I'm sure he done a lot of good for Elvis as well, didn't he?
Aye. It was just a lot. It was just very fucking because like obviously every film needs like a fucking like a villain sort of thing. Aye, know what I mean? But it was like, is all this true? Know what I mean? Because the guy's dead and he can't store up for himself, and it's not as if anybody's going to go, well, no, you're wrong. Know what I mean?
Imagine it being a fucking Masters of the Universe fucking biopic and it starts off with Skeletor. I found He-Man. There's nothing before me.
It was just because let's see, like it's they make out that he is the fucking major bad cunt and all that, and he was bad to Elvis, which he was bad to Elvis. It's no getting around about it because he did trap him in Las Vegas, but Priscilla would invite him to Graceland for anniversaries and stuff.
Aye.
So I'm like, see if all that was the way he was treated, then why are you still inviting this cunt run?
Aye, I know. Elvis generally did. They made that quite clear. Elvis generally did love the guy. You know what I mean? That's what it hurt him so much when he found out about things and where the fuck's my money, and do you know what I mean? But it kind of overshadowed the fact that there's a Colonel there, right, and there's Elvis there. But see all that in between bit, all the people that were at fucking at the ranch all the time, spending his money, drinking his drink, eating his food, all these people were meant to be his pals and family were fucking taking as well. But his dad just fucking lost his scrotum and never stood up for him either.
Aye, he's fucking. Like you say, it doesn't tell you any of that stuff because well, you kind of really find that out, isn't it? So when it comes to Elvis finds out that the Colonel's been holding him back, not letting him go to tour the world and stuff, which that was true.
I know. Do you know? I never ever knew that. I found that fucking staggering. It was one of the first things I looked up when I came out. I went, Elvis never played outside America. And fucking true. The only time he was outside America was when he had a fucking army uniform on. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, mate. Fucking, but it's when he finds that out, and because the whole thing as well, Elvis firing him when he's on stage, that never happened either.
No, because I fucking hunted fine low for that.
But it's when he goes, then he starts doing that itemized list. The list was real. The list was actually real.
Aye.
Which
See
is
that
fucking...
bit, man? Just jot this down. 1956, fuel to Tallahassee, $1.37. Oh, you bastard. You're doing that, aren't you?
That's when he kind of makes it clear to him as well, but isn't it? He's like, Elvis, you've spent all your money. All your hangers on there. They've spent all your money. You've took for me and I've took for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're leaving me, I want my due back. So...
I mean, consider the first extract was like $1.37 for fuel. It gets up to about 8.5 million.
Aye.
How long did that fucking list take, man?
Exactly, man.
Christ.
But in fact, it just shows you that a person like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've seen how smart that guy was as well, because like, see when they were pulling out all the Elvis merchandise and stuff, and it was like the badges, I love Elvis, but then that other bit, I hate Elvis. And he's like, well, exactly.
Genius. Do you know what I mean?
Profiting off your haters. Fucking.
My jaw fucking hurt the flare when I seen that. And then they explained, because even when he first said, I hate Elvis, I'm like, what the fuck's that there in there? And then he explained it. I'm like, oh, you're a different kind of fucking breed, you, mate. You're brilliant.
But see, and saying that, how much did they make Elvis that way? Know what I mean?
Aye.
Because it's just
alluded to the fact it was kind of the first big outside Disney. It was the first kind of merchandised person, wasn't it?
Aye, that's it. The first superstar that fucking had everything. So you talk about all that. The running joke in films now is all my face is on lunchboxes and all that. I think Elvis was like the first lunchbox. Know what I mean?
Exactly, mate. Exactly. So, pardon me. I apologise. Full of burpy wind here. So story-wise and stuff like that, excellent, right? So it tells you about him getting into movies, And he made some big movies and all that, but he wasn't the world's best actor. It was kind of loosely based around his music in the movies as well. But he wasn't. He wanted to be an actor, and then he realised he wasn't the best actor in the world, didn't he?
Aye, they kind of played to his strengths in it. They started him kind of making musicals, and that's where he kind of got one of his biggest hits and all, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So again, kind of that's where you kind of, it's like the two sides to it. Know what I mean? It's like obviously the Colonel was a pure bastard, but in the same sense, he did. Well, we're still talking about Elvis. We just wait to see a film about Elvis. Know what I mean?
Right.
So it's
I'm probably like you, mate. I know of Elvis. I like his music. That's where it kind of stops. But this film made me want to know more. I would never be on that level. Do you know what I mean? The cunts that fucking live, breathe, and have had sideburns for their 12-year-old and go to Vegas every year and all that. I've never been on that level. But I can understand. See, before a time there was social media, this guy, kind of in his life, he has done everything and get fucking caught for it. He's tested the boundaries, tested the barriers, made the mistakes, and I think in that sense he was a kind of pioneer for the bands and singers of the 60s, 70s, and 80s to better know their art or better watch what I'm doing here, because he just done things and then get told he was wrong or it was good or whatever. In a culture they know that we're in movie wise where that it seems to be the fucking need to have a nod to today's society with LGBT, woke, all that kind of the left and stuff. Although there was reference to this, it was perfectly in sync with the time of what was going on. Do you know what I mean? And that's where it ended, wasn't it?
Aye, because it's at the meetings with Benny King and stuff and that, innit? He's like, listen, you can do what you want on stage, you can sing these things and all that because you're white. That's it. You're not going to get arrested. Know what I mean? And it's showing you back then, know what I mean? Well, it even shows you that the concert at the baseball field. Segregation. Know what I mean? Aye. Like, fuck's sake, man.
This is an age, unfortunately, in America, which is meant to be the greatest power in the world, where the colour of your skin could get you taken away and fucking lost. Do you know what I mean? Shocking. But
that's the whole part of it as well, isn't
it? Aye. It's a perfect example of why we can learn from history, because it's factual and it's not overblown. It's not overpowering the story. You don't come away from it thinking about that. It's in there, it's part of it, but it's not enveloped the fucking characters and the storyline, which was refreshing. I liked that. Well, it was bad what happened, obviously. Bad what happened.
Aye, definitely. Aye, because that's part of the whole thing. The Colonel getting like kind of interrogated with these government officials, and it was because Elvis was singing black music.
Yeah,
and they didn't like that. They thought it was like an inroad for black people to take care of America and all this. This is how fucking backwards fucking people are. Know what I mean?
Right.
But
a very warped fucking sense of
aye.
train of thought.
Mm-hmm.
and see, thinking about it, mate, it was only 10 years before it. These people were fighting against tyranny, against Hitler, all that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's fucking
WW2.
Aye, know what I mean? And it was like, I can kind of see what they were trying to do in the film as well. That Elvis up there singing this kind of music and stuff was like, it was branching stuff. It was like trying to break black music into acceptance and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, see the whole scene where it was like the guy up on the podium just preaching hate and he's singing on stage and all that. And I was like, come on, it wasn't like that. It wasn't a fucking, know what I mean? I'm out there, putting myself out there to fight this sort of thing. It was like, what you liked.
It wasn't his purpose. It wasn't a political gain. It was, I'm fucking doing what I want to do. I don't care. It's not about getting better than you. I'm just doing what I want to do. I don't see why I shouldn't be able to. And that was brilliant. I loved that scene, man. Just some of the actresses, the women. Even they were surprised at their body doing stuff.
Right.
Brilliant, like.
But it's like that, it's true, but because you see them all screaming and you're like, what the fuck?
And if he never pioneered the 12-bar blues and soul, there'd be no fucking Beatles, no rock and roll, no, you know what I mean? Fucking, we'd still be sitting going, I left My wife and my 13 kids.
So I mean, mate, it's just, aye, it was like it was showing you, it was like quite a historical phenomenon. It was showing you a lot of fucking things. Because, well, I don't know if I found out this after it as well. Well, obviously, you hear a lot of the reference to the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and stuff, but I didn't know Elvis tried to stop the Beatles and that going to America.
See, that's
Is
fucking.
Is that just made up shit again?
Oh no, there is a semblance of truth, but it's warped to suit your fucking argument. If you're a pro Elvis or pro Beatles, then you'll warp it, right? When I was growing up, and I've heard and read that Elvis, when the Beatles get big, Elvis invited them to Graceland, which is true, and the Beatles have said it on canon and all that, and invited them. But they all said he just wanted to say hello and how you doing, and welcome to America, and what he's up to, and that was kind of it. A couple of the boys, like George and I think George Harrison, said it was a bit kind of offish and a bit stand. I think he was just trying to work us out if we were a threat to him. But the guy was genuine because he done it with him, done it with Tom Jones, done it with the Rolling Stones, you said, and many other bands. I think fucking Cilla Black was in his house, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? When she was Priscilla White. But to think that a guy that would worry about another band, do you know what I mean? But mental. But we'll get to the later part of the story in a minute. What do you think of the acting?
Well, I've already said to you, mate, the boy Austin, tremendous man. He's got he's got to win. Never mind just be nominated because there was that parts that you were like, that's fucking, you didn't know if it was like real footage or whatever. You see the way they'd like kind of edited the footage and stuff, like that kind of grainy look. But also, I found out yesterday, there's only one time in the film, and I think it's later on in Elvis's life, where they actually like mix his voice with Elvis's voice. See, from the beginning all the way through, it's actually him singing the songs.
Aye, it was fucking. Neve said this to me, my daughter, and he's actually singing there. I'm like, you sure? And you're right, mate. So fucking sorry, Neve. You're absolutely right. I thought she was getting confused with the fact that it's actually him speaking and all that kind of stuff and doing wee harmonics, which is fine. But like you said, mate, if there's anybody can come out of a film with Tom Hanks and fucking blow him out the water, then you're like, wow. As I said, like Bohemian Rhapsody, the two kind of, three benchmarks for me. People talk about Kurt Russell portrayal, which was brilliant, by the way, but that was a film at that time, and it tells now. But with regards to, I would say, Val Kilmer's Jim Morrison, Bohemian Rhapsody with Rami Malek, and Eckhart doing Rocket Man, he blows them out of the water. And I thought fucking Val Kilmer's Jim Morrison couldn't be beat, by the way. The other two, Eckhart's got a tremendous voice and sang a lot in that as well, and hats off to him for it. And by the way, he's in line to be the next Wolverine.
I know.
But he's buffed up, man. But as I say to you, mate, I keep saying to other people, Austin Butler, whatever scene he was doing, because there's a couple of times he fucking loses an agno, loses his temper. He doesn't break character. There's no twang release or nothing. He lives and breathes a guy, man. He's fucking awesome. And like you said, I think he deserves the Oscar, man. Never mind a nomination, fuck's sake.
Oh, definitely, mate, because like you say, mate, just everybody can do the Elvis thing when he's on stage, or that fucking or that fucking know what I mean? But he was still doing it, even let's see like the emotional scenes when he's talking to his ma and all that stuff, and then even if you don't know, Elvis's ma dies. You know what I mean? But even then, you know what I mean? But the only
I didn't know he was a twin either.
I know that.
I didn't know that, man.
But because that was part of a fucking quiz I done. I was like, what are you talking about? And then what was his name? That's how I went like that. this is how fucking stupid I'm, mate. Yeah, I went, is Elvis Costello? Is that the twin? And I went, he looks fucking like him.
Alvin's Army. Exactly. Aye. So, Tom Hanks, mate, as always.
Mate, good man, but the only thing that annoyed me was his fucking accent at times. I'm like, what are you? And I don't know if he done it that way because it was like so. Because at that time, nobody knew where he came from. So I don't know if that's why it was a bit fucking.
But there's enough footage out there. I've seen it after the film, and the Colonel doesn't sound Dutch at all in any of it. So weird.
Because apparently he picked up that accent during like the carnival days.
Aye.
So I'm like, but as well, apparently he's linked to a murder in Holland.
Oh.
So that was part of the whole didn't want Elvis to go abroad and stuff.
Aye, because he didn't have a passport, didn't he? No?
That's it.
Which was quite sneaky and quite good. I liked that. Didn't like it for Elvis, but I liked it in the story kind of thing. So we kind of meet her on, and he's done the movies and stuff like that. He's now wanting to just slowly get back into the music. Colonel says, right, we'll do this, we'll do a Christmas special, and wanting you to wear the jumper and all that.
Which, again, wasn't true.
Nah.
See the whole Christmas theme and the Christmas jumper and stuff. That wasn't true. The only thing that made this a Christmas special is it was going to be released in December. So again, that's how I was like that. I mean, you already know the guy's a bastard. You know what I mean? I knew that before I seen this film. So I was like, why are you adding more bastardry to it? You know what I mean?
Aye, but it was, in the sense of the movie, it was brilliant.
You kind of show you the rebellion, didn't it?
Just him with the biggest fucking red Elvis sign behind him and all that, and the movie portrays him as reinventing yourself and just winning over these people that think he's fucked, think he's out it, and the lassie's like, hey, you still got it, big man. The black leather trousers and the like.
Aye, then came the fucking the most annoying part in the film for me. Fucking, you hear a gunshot. Bobby Kennedy's been shot. What did he say? Bobby Kennedy's been shot. You're having a fucking hell, man.
For people listening, this is two people that were fucking talking pure loud yesterday in the cinema when Chris was trying to watch a movie with it, mate.
Aye, and it was like a couple of times it was like that. Like, genuinely, you hear that fucking gunshot, right? And then it couldn't be any clearer. Bobby Kennedy, I think there's another 4 people say it in the room. Bobby Kennedy's been shot. What did he say?
You know what? I'm going to put that into. She snuck in a packet of McCoys and she just crunched into one when the important bit happens. That happens to me all the fucking time. Oh, I missed that. That sounded important.
But see, while she's going, fucking, what did he say? And he's going, oh, and he didn't have a whisper voice. See, like, lean in and go, Bobby Kennedy's been shot. No, it was, Bobby Kennedy's been shot. And so I'm hearing them getting pissed off, and then I missed the next bit. I'm like, oh, see you as bastards.
Right, that's what happens with your cine world in the East End.
See, if it was a fucking Friday the 13th film, they would have thought it was actual fucking 4D because they'd have been chopped up.
Where did you go to Forge?
Aye. I just took a stop up.
How was it? Comfy?
It's weird because it's like the weird screen and all that, but they've raised the screen up there and they've made the seats like kind of like bucket. I mean,
well, that's not so bad.
So you're kind of tilted.
I think the last time I was in there was to see Paw Patrol the movie 3 years ago, and it was in dire need of an upgrade. Now seats wise and stuff like that, it was a bit solid and uncomfortable. But that's good, mate. It sounds good. So back to the film. We're getting onto the Colonel's like agreeing the Vegas thing from on his behalf. I thought as a spectacle for us watching this, the whole Vegas stuff, it was fucking tremendous to watch. The big piece band, the lights, the people even in the crowd with the fags and the champagne and all that, and I was taken in, mate. Thought it was great.
See what I'm talking about. You only getting to see the songs through his rise. That's what I was kind of looking for. Let's see when he was doing.
You say that scene, aye.
Aye, see like the first time that they done Heartbreak Hotel or something like that. Because you're like, that would have been like, oh, aye, you can see the whole. Aye, that was amazing.
I could just see him conducting. He just does that to me. He just goes like, give me a bum 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 girls, and bringing everybody in and give me some bass on it. Dun, 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 dun. You're like, oh, that's fucking. You're feeling it then, man.
Aye. See, I would have liked to see Mary that. I think that's my only takeaway for that I didn't like was the fact that you've only seen that because in the beginning he's already done a wee hit and he's on the rise, but then you don't see like a Heartbreak Hotel and all that becoming big. Know what I mean?
You did miss the big fucking numbers, didn't you? Blue Suede Shoes. You get one chorus of that somewhere along the movie, but it goes like, that's all right for mama, that's all right for me. That's his big hit.
Aye.
And it goes for there and misses out 20, doesn't it? You're right.
Aye. I mean, you're knowing, I know it's kind of showing you like wee clips of shows and stuff, but it would have been good to let's see like the big just like build up thing. Know what I mean? Like you kind of get the other columns. Aye.
I can see where they could have put that in the bother. That's why I say to you, this isn't a musically based film. I would say it's more just him and the Colonel. It's just two bios, man. So if you're out there wanting to go and see fucking heavy Elvis music bio, then it's no for you.
But it was kind of good enough. See what they've done with some of his songs, and they kind of fitted it in with like modern music. Because there's a bit I'm sure he's walking through a corridor, and it's like a song, one of his songs, but it's like another woman singing to another song or something through it, and it's just like showing you how it kind of pieced together like modern music and older music. Know what I mean?
I know what you mean, mate. There's a bit in it. It's a kind of back and forth between him as a Wayne, him as an adult, the Deep South, the club in New Orleans with the coloured woman singing, and it's kind of like soft house underneath with her. Brilliant, man.
Aye. Oh, and that as well.
It.
See the actress that played that, Mama something. Is it Mama Franklin? Maybe.
Aye.
She died. Literally, it's in the news. I think she died today.
Oh, fucking hell. God rest you, hen. It wasn't her out of Orange is the New Black, in it, no?
I'm not sure.
I'm thinking another movie review for something.
Sean Duquesne.
Oh, I'll look into it after, mate, but that's sad, that. Jesus
44. 44. Found dead.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound good. Found dead never sounds good, especially after a role in that. What a talented woman.
Aye, definitely, man.
So we've got all that, mate. He's done Vegas. I think he's only got to do Vegas for 2 gigs or 2 weeks or something.
Aye, I think it's to be
the opening in it.
Aye, I think it was in real life. I think it was 2 weeks, but I think in the movie it was 5 weeks or something. I think he was to do 5 weeks.
Short stint there, and then he'll be allowed to tour the world. But he does his short stint, all excited, and that's when he gets the bombshell. You're skint. We can't even afford fuel for a plane. And by the way, you can go if you want, but you owe me fucking $8.5 million first. The only way to work your way through this debt, keep us on the life we're accustomed to, is agree to this, which I've done on a fucking napkin with the owner of the hotel, man.
Aye. I see that, mate. That bit was just fucking. That sickened me, man.
That infuriated me, especially the way Austin Butler acted it as well. The genuine upset, the anger, the hurt. That was amazing. I felt it with him. You know what I mean?
It was made the fact as well, assuming because his dad's he's been his business manager, so he's to be looking after Elvis's money. And it's when he says to him, "We're broke," and it's like just the heartbreak of that as well.
I see the way the Colonel plays his dad against him there. He gives him the opportunity. He just says to him, I mean, look, don't take my word for it. If you want to go with what your dad's going to suggest you, I mean, I'm sure he'll give you the best advice only a father can give you. What do you think, Daddy? And he looks and looks and looks and looks, and then you're like, he's shiting at it. He's going to fucking... I think do these gigs, Elvis, and we'll go for there. You're like, you fucking rat cunt, man.
Exactly, mate. Because what it's what the whole problem is, after Elvis's comeback sort of thing, he leaves the Colonel. Know what I mean? He's got to do the world tours and stuff. And obviously the Colonel's a mad gambler and has crazy debts. So
Forgot about that, mate.
he's about to leave. His meal ticket really is about to leave him. But instead of that, he convinces. I mean, that as well. See, fucking the way Elvis. I know that he trusted this guy and all that, and he was with him for years. But it's the way this guy could just manipulate him. I'm like,
A lot to get about. I mean,
aye,
maybe he was the first. But I know in our lifetime, movie stars and musicians have all been taken for fucking a ride because you're talking your big hitters like Billy Joel and people like that. They were just making squillions of pounds that all these millions gone missing just wasn't computing. And it was always their nearest and dearest one. It was like their brother that was their fucking manager and stuff like that.
that's it. And it's like, fucking, like, seriously, man. You've
Aye,
like
Wesley Snipes done fucking time because
aye,
manager didn't pay his tax.
this
You pay
is
my tax. Of course I'm paying your tax.
it's the same with Nicolas Cage, I know. That's why he's done every shit movie ever since.
That's right. He's thrilled, didn't he? He says, I don't even read the script. I just say, yes. Yes.
Because he
Put
just
it in
needs
the
the money,
file.
man. Aye. I need to see his new, I know.
I know. I keep forgetting
Dealing with
about
fame or something.
that.
Aye,
Do you know the
but
funny thing with Nicolas Cage as well is his affiliation to Elvis. Do you know what I mean?
aye.
He blew a lot of money on Elvis memorabilia, which was fucking fake. And even married fucking Lisa Marie, didn't he?
Aye. He's quite, and I don't know, Nicolas Cage is fucking a bit of royalty, isn't he, man? Because he's related to Capella and stuff, isn't he?
Aye. But even Lisa Marie says he married me, but I think he was marrying my dad through me. No, that's a bit weird on that cat.
Dress up like your dad, huh? What?
And you started seeing him appearing in public on the red carpet with the fucking Elvis hair and all that. You're like, oh, okay.
Mate, he's not the only person, mate. I remember, see, when we were younger, there was a guy at the scheme would only wear Elvis t-shirts and shit.
Everybody's got one, mate.
Aye.
Every cat's got one. Even when I was doing the gigs, man, when I was doing the gigs, when I was gigging, singing, karaoke's, DJing and all that, didn't matter where I was, there would always be one guy come in with his own CD. Say, like, can I sing, big man? I'm like, aye, no bother, what do you want to do? A wee bit Elvis, that. So, aye, I'll put one, do you want? I went, no, just put that disc in. You're like, oh no, we've got a fucking warmer here, man. Oh, that guy that's fucking my size, my fucking build, get up and try to do all that, man. Fucking take his hip, nearly breaking his fucking hip.
It's fucking, but aye, that's the whole thing. It's so while Elvis is on stage, obviously rocking the house, practically, you know what I mean? A sensation. The guy that owns the hotel was making him a deal, how much to keep him here. And it's $5 million for Elvis, which is what Elvis was worth when he died, which is fucking unbelievable.
Aye. It was 5 million plus your debts that you was, Colonel, are wiped, innit?
Aye, all your debts are wiped and you've got a unlimited line of credit. So he could just gamble in that hotel as long as Elvis was there.
Imagine getting a gambling addict unlimited line of credit.
Aye.
Makes the 5 million Elvis is getting look like fucking wallies, know what I mean?
Exactly. But the whole point of this was Elvis was going to do this. Meanwhile, they sorted out security for this European tour and the world tour and stuff because the Colonel apparently says it was all there's no security and then there was death threats and stuff.
Aye. And although it never shows you him doing it, it's him, innit?
Aye. Well, they think some of them might have been him, but FBI, see, because of the whole, they didn't trust Elvis, what he was doing and all that, he was always watched sort of thing.
Aye.
They did actually say some of the death threats were genuine.
Aye, him, Monroe, Kennedy's, all that kind of era. It was Cuban Missile Crisis. Every cunt was a spy, wasn't it?
That was it. Kept tabs on them.
So,
but
aye.
See, that whole, see for their own words, man, you're like that. That's fucking... It's sad. That's what I came back. I say to people, it's a good film, but it's just sad how that ended up for that guy.
That's the word. You've said it perfect. It is. It's really sad that towards the end, because you're seeing him after that, after he's been hoodwinked into having to do these gigs now. So you've watched him on the stage. The performances and the voice never wane, right? Flawless, but you know he doesn't want to be there. He wants to be in fucking London or fucking Paris or something. It was promised, do you know what I mean? And again, he's out there. And then even the Colonel says, kind of, well, before we fast forward to that, but he's basically, you talk about Dr. Nick, he's failing, his body's failing, the pressure's getting to him. And he's basically, it leads to him being put in a coma in between fucking gigs, doesn't it?
Aye. It's just, because I was again, I looked at the numbers for how many he was doing and stuff. He was doing 2 shows a night, right? And I think it worked to like 636 fucking live shows he did across 5 years or something. Know what I mean? I know it's like, know how like most people think
Bruce Springsteen, fuck's sake.
That's what I mean, but most people think, when you think Elvis, they think of Fat Elvis and the white jumpsuit and all that shit, and you're like that. You don't think of how that became what it was.
You're right. They think of Joke Elvis. I'm guilty of it. This fat guy sitting in a leotard that died in the toilet eating a cheeseburger.
Aye.
Which is probably fabricated and all, but
aye,
you're right, mate. I never questioned once how the fuck did they get to that? Because it was only less than 10 years before it. You look at him in Jailhouse Rock, and he's this fucking beautiful looking guy. You know what I mean?
That's it. And because I've always thought that myself. Why did everybody fucking love him and all that? Because I just thought it was like Elvis. He was fat Elvis all the way through it. Know what I mean? I know how as world goes on, like all of us different. There's different tastes. That's what people fancied back then and all that. And you're like, all right, aye.
You know how you're saying, mate, as well about it being really sad, and we're watching these gigs and knowing he doesn't want to fucking be there. I was actually getting fucking. I know these cunts are only actors, but see the people in the crowd watching them. I just felt like, fuck yous, man.
Exactly.
Who's killing this guy? You know what I mean? But that's how it made you feel, which is testament to the directing, man.
Aye, because in that scene as well, see when he comes off stage, he's kissing all these women and stuff, and you hear the Colonel again, because Priscilla's in the crowd as well. And as he says, I seen it in her eyes that night that she knew she couldn't compete with the love that he got for the crowd. Because he says in the end, that's what killed Elvis. It wasn't him that killed Elvis. It was the crowds.
And that, you're right, mate. And that was heartbreaking. I know. Just the last talk I had with her in the airport in the motor, and she's genuine concern for him, and you know what I mean. She couldn't be his wife anymore, but she would always love him. And then he says that to her, he's fucking, I'll always love you, and fucking tearing up thinking about it now. And then every time you hear him singing that, you're thinking he's singing to her, and she knows that.
Aye, I mean that was sad as fuck, because it was like she's like, come to this rehab place and get yourself sorted out and all that, and he knows. But if I go and get myself, that's how it's like. It kind of leads you to believe that Elvis killed himself intentionally, so you're not looking after himself. Because if he was alive longer, he would have had to have done the Vegas shows longer.
Aye.
So I think that's where he kind of turns her down without turning her down, sort of thing.
There's a kind of a twisted romance about that, about him working himself to death.
Aye.
To make a point. Do you know what I mean? I like what you're saying there. I get that.
Aye.
Totally get that. So that's kind of the last time she sees him in person. It's then you see, A, he's hoodwinked into doing this. B, like you said, he's going to prove a point and fucking work himself to death. And C, he's chose it over her. So it's an amalgamation of things. And then we're very quickly onto the fact the Colonel's talking, and then he just goes right into saying, the last time I seen Elvis, I watched him on stage. He could barely stand, and somebody had to help him to this piano. And then I watched as he delivered the best vocal, you know what I mean, I've ever heard in my life. And you're like,
I know, mate. That was fucking. See, just seeing that as well, mate. That was fucking pure heartbreaking, man. It was like he's getting that performance and all that, and then now you're like, see some of the songs he was singing. and you hear them now because you photoed them different before, but see like Suspicious Minds and all that shit now, and you hear it and it starts out, I'm caught in a trap. You're like,
Aye.
what the fuck is this now? Know what I mean? And you think of the songs differently.
And I can't walk out.
Aye. Know what I mean? And it's just shit like that, man. But it's like that scene because it's still the actor Austin. He's still Elvis at that point, and then it switches to like the real footage, and you can't tell the difference.
No.
Know what I mean?
And then you go to the movie theatre, go home, and you get it on YouTube and watch him getting helped to the piano. You watch the Coke cups exact same, and the guy coming out to hold the mic, and even he's fucked, man. He's bloated, obviously through the pills, sweat's belting off him. He's physically incapable of fucking standing at a microphone stand. That's why he's sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
But this voice comes out for fucking the bowels of his fucking soul, and it's amazing to watch. And even before he starts, he just says to people, he's nearly half sleeping. How you liking it so far? I mean, he's still here, fuck's sake.
Aye. There's a bit in the film I know that I found it was fucking. I was disgusted, I know, man, but it was like obviously it's vital to see that bit. He faint. Well, at the start of the film, he faints in a corridor. But as he's lying there, he sees his manager, this guy that he trusted and fucking thought was looking after him and all that. And obviously he's fainted, and he's like, whatever happens, make sure you get this guy on stage.
Aye.
Know what I mean?
And
then even his dad's like that, nods. And you're like, fucking.
And I've not seen that that's untrue. I've seen a couple of things that say that is true. That actually happened. But Priscilla knew there was no saving him. Do you know what I mean? He was fucking.
Aye, gone.
He was getting woke up. I mean, he was chemically woken back up after being chemically put to sleep and going like that. Right, you're on in half an hour.
Aye.
Here we go again, and then robotic, and that's what a waste, man. But as a film, mate, I thought it again. It's kind of touched me in a way I never knew it would, and that's why I'm saying it's up there, just behind the Batman as my film of the year. It was level pegging, but it's just behind there because Batman's Batman. Know what I mean? But as for an acting performance, I've not seen, and I can't see anything on the horizon this year that's going to compete with Austin Butler.
Nah. There can't be. There would need to be somebody who comes out and does something fucking absolutely phenomenal. Nah. It would need to be like fucking, I don't know, Matthew McConaughey and Dallas Buyers Club good. Know what I mean? It'd need to be something.
No, you've got me fucking confused about the next movie we're going to do. Bastard. But listen, I would recommend anybody watching this, listening to this, go and see it on the big screen. I don't think it's going to have, I know I say it all the time, but it's another one of these ones that's not going to have the same impact on you like sitting on your couch watching it on the telly. I don't think, you know what I mean?
Aye, because it's obviously the same director that done The Great Gatsby. And it's all glitz and glamour and stuff. Like you would imagine comes with Elvis.
Very underrated film, that, by the way.
The Great Gatsby?
I don't think it gets the plaudits it should have. I really do. And that's with Tobey Maguire in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's not the best actor, I don't think.
It's the best Spider-Man, but...
He's the best of both. He's the best Peter Parker and Spider-Man collab. Yes. Yeah. Whereas Tom Holland's a good fucking Peter Parker and Garfield's a better Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. This is why we love the fucking Marvel and DC and everything fucking comic booky. Final scores, mate, out of 10, what you giving them?
Oh, I'll get an 8.5. The only thing it takes that away for me was you've only seen the hits. You've only seen him like coming up with stuff, if you know what I mean.
Cool, no, I can totally see that where you're coming from, mate. Totally. I will give it a 9, mate. That's again half of my explanation for that. I can't explain it. It just sometimes you go and see something and it just.
Mate, I will say I know there was a good couple of times I got goosebumps for it. Mm-hmm. See the bit of the baseball field there, his comeback bit, and then obviously the big stage in Vegas, and then the bit at the end. You know what I mean? So it was
Well, as we
four.
always say, mate, if a film can make you feel sad and angry and emotional,
Aye.
it's fucking, it's
That's
ticked your boxes, isn't it?
Aye.
It really has.
It's definitely good. I would recommend people go see it.
Brilliant, mate. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So there you go, folks. That was Elvis. Spoiler rated for you. And we now move on to thinking about next week. And it's my choice again.
Aye.
So, you done Predator, didn't you? Aye.
Aye.
So, I've had a couple of thoughts, Nora, and I think it's time to go down the route of an animation classic. But it's not going to be the animation classic you might fucking say, oh, he's got to do Toy Story, oh, he's got to do Shrek, he's got to do something else. We're going to review and critique, in my opinion, the best animated film of the last 20 years.
So it's Megamind.
Megamind, mate. Megamind. The regular listeners and viewers to this show probably like, Megamind? I'm telling you, right? I've probably had to watch it, right? Go through choice because my boys are only fucking not even 4 yet. Now, I've watched this hundreds of times and I don't ever fucking watch it with them and think, I need to, can I see this again? It's still brilliant. Just is, man.
Well, my dad actually likes that and all, so there must be something.
Dad's a good guy. He was traveling America there, going to all the good hunts.
Aye, he was, aye. I don't need to go to New York. I've seen every inch of New York via pictures.
I've your pictures. I definitely want to go one day. So there you go, mate. You all right with that? Megamind?
Aye, sound. I was
Brilliant.
wondering when we were going to go down this route, but aye.
I've just... Nobody wants to hear about fucking Toy Story and all that. Do you know what I mean? I don't think anyway. Well, if you do want to do Toy Story down the line, mate, I'm sorry. Do you know what I mean?
I just froze away my list.
Aye. No, I genuinely do have a deep love for this film, and it's Will Ferrell, Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill. Can't really say more than that, can you? It's,
superheroes.
Aye, and it's Brad Pitt talking. You don't need to see his fucking cooking.
Aye.
No bad. So there you go, my man. I'll let you crack on. I'll get this out on the audibles and the visuals throughout the day.
Yes. Yes, when you find the time, good sir.
Cool. What are you up to for the rest? Are you going to see anything else this weekend?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I might go see the Black Phone.
I'm doing for that at a very late time on Sunday, so I can see me fucking maybe try to go earlier than that, or I think it was a bad move to do 10 to 10 at night when I'm up at 5:30 in the morning, do you know what I mean? So got to see Maverick eventually tomorrow after I go to Ibrox. So look forward to that. And the picture hole I'm going to see it in is about 20. Odds about 20. Aye, it's going to be very intimate. I hope it's not going to be very intimate. I hope it's only me there.
Aye.
Strip off there.
Oh, as long as you don't get the two behind me. What did he say there?
What was it? Thor: Love and Thunder, and there was a group of young boys, and it was getting to trailer time, and the phone was lighting up all the time. So I just fucked an M&M in the back of his seat. It's one of the wee now 14, 15-year-old boys turning and go, "Are you fucking doing?"
Aye.
And he went like, "Oh, you're a big cunt, aren't you?" Aye. Phone's not off, mate. Aye.
Oh well, all in good spirit.
Right, mate, enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for hanging off all morning for me. My life is a hectic mess.
Yes, no worries, mate.
But I love them. So catch you later, mate.
Catch you, mate.
And action!
You disgust me. Grow up.